Thanks to MGM Slots Live for sponsoring this video. Show our channel your support by clicking the link in the description to get your free download. I have traveled to over 50 countries, and I can honestly say there is nowhere in the world like Las Vegas. Imagine having the ultimate Vegas experience right in the palm of your hand. Introducing MGM Slots Live. It's the official MGM casino game that features dozens of free-to-play slot games and offers the most unique bonus games and live slot tournaments in actual MGM casinos. That's right, you can play in real MGM casinos on the Vegas Strip. MGM Slots offers really fun games. Their loyalty program allows you to play free slots and redeem real rewards, like free hotel rooms, discounted meals, and show tickets at any MGM Resorts property, and many other partners around the world. Download MGM Slots Live by clicking the link in the description, or scan the QR code right here on the screen and get 10 million chips if you're a new player. Available in the iOS App Store and Google Play. It's that easy. Just click the link in the description to go to the landing page, and I'll see you in the game. Now, on to the show. As a man sitting down with two women, every time you eat, I'm wondering, should I look away? Can I still look at you and speak to you? What is the proper etiquette?
The country with the world's highest Muslim population. You might think it's Pakistan, you might think it's Bangladesh. Turns out, it's a country in Southeast Asia, a country that's also home
How do I say hello?
to some of the most extreme tribes,
Wow.
foods,
Look at this. I've got this stretchy piece of bed.
and ways of life you'll find anywhere.
This is a part of a welcoming ceremony.
Yes.
I feel very welcome, and I peed a little bit.
Oh,
That country is Indonesia. No country I've seen has more well-preserved cultural diversity than this place. Perhaps it's the result of the vast archipelago of more than 17,000 separate islands that make up this country. In the past, I traveled to the Hindu-dominated island of Bali to eat porcupine meat.
Oh my gosh.
And I lived with the Korowai of West Papua,
Holy
where inside their treehouse, we dined on freshly caught beetles.
Oh.
But this time,
What is going on here?
They are singing the funeral chant.
we're going much, much deeper.
Why is it when they take the coffin out, they pretend like they're dropping it? What is happening?
It's more like shaking that start about the second life one.
Like waking them up?
Yeah.
In this series, I'm on a mission to seek out the culture, the tribes, the hidden societies that couldn't be more different from mainstream Indonesia.
At what point did you become multi-gender?
With these cultures come food experiences most outsiders have never seen before.
What this cow is eating right now is what I'm gonna be eating very shortly.
Like the Karo people of North Sumatra, who make a traditional soup using one of the world's most revolting ingredients: grass juice and acid from a cow's stomach.
Wow, just like,
It's so juicy, huh?
I think you could just put that on ice and drink it.
There are the Badui people in Western Java, the Amish of Asia.
Have you ever held a phone?
They refuse to adopt new technology and only eat what they grow
Oh, it smells good.
wait until you go to the toilet after this.
or what they catch.
I'm still slowly learning the rules of this place. Whatever they do, I do.
The Bugis people of Makassar, where some food is meant for eating
It's like when you wrap chains around a pirate chest.
and some is meant for healing.
Everything will be okay through his prayer.
Oh, well, all right. Oh, okay. She just spit on her thumb, put it on my eyebrows.
And the Tarayan people of South Sulawesi, with the most chilling death ritual I've ever witnessed.
They've just taken out all the coffins. They've opened them up. How many people are here?
13.
A ceremony intertwining the deceased
There's candy, there's some money under her arm. What is the purpose of that?
and a meal offered to the dead.
Do you remember how old you were when you experienced your first manene?
He experienced manene once he was 6 years old.
Some foods will take your breath away,
I cannot believe this exists. This is one of the most unique, interesting things I've ever tried.
while others
Have you ever eaten it raw?
No.
will make you question your life choices up to this moment.
A lot of people have these as pets,
Yeah, because it's so precious and so pretty.
but the flavor is even better than that?
Yeah, even better.
Indonesia has the highest Muslim population of any country in the world. Islam here began in northern Sumatra, where we are now. The religion has influenced their culture, but it's also influenced the local diet.
For this, it doesn't seem like it's difficult to make halal because there's no meat or anything here, right?
Yes.
I'm following Andre, getting a closer look at how to eat like a local,
You have to drink it, not eat it.
including one-of-a-kind, home-cooked goldfish. And it all starts here.
I watched some of your video, it's very extreme food. I want to ask why this is like traditional dish usually.
Well, what would you consider extreme?
You know, like the whole pig on the table.
Why are you crying?
Look how good this food looks!
We don't eat like that at home.
It's interesting you say like the whole pig is so extreme, but for me, it feels kind of normal.
Oh yeah?
But I love trying food from everywhere around the world, whether it's that kind of food or something like this. What am I looking at here?
This is, we call rujak.
A sweet, dense, and addictive dish found on the streets of Medan. But there's a catch.
This looks like chilies or some kind of a
The
sambal.
whole of chili over here, yes. There's a level of the spice. This is middle level.
Oh gosh, mid-level in Indonesia is not safe.
Stone grind green chilies, then roast peanuts, unripe banana, Chisari, a local shrimp paste, and palm sugar. Continue to grind until it congeals into an earthy brown paste. That is just the sauce. Now they slice and dice young papaya, star fruit, mango, water apple, jicama, and pineapple. Bring the fruit and sauce together, then roasted peanuts on top. Vendors like this dot the periphery of the Grand Mosque of Medan, where we're sitting right now.
Today, please do not adjust the heat for me. I can handle it.
Oh yeah?
Lenny Andriani, or Andre. She's called Medan home for 15 years. She's a food lover and a mother of 3.
Let's try it out. I find the spice to be pretty manageable. It's warm, but it's not so hot.
This is normal heat.
Is this a snack?
It's a snack.
I love this dish. It tastes good, it's sweet, has a delicious peanut base to it, and then each fruit has a little bit different crunch to it too. When's the last time you had this?
2 days ago, like this is like everyday meal, you know?
This is halal food, right?
Yes, halal food.
Halal food is food that's permitted for consumption according to the laws of Islam. That means, in most cases, no booze, no bugs, no pork, and no strange lizard creatures or geckos either.
Whenever I eat halal food, certainly it's gonna be less extreme in some ways. But when I come to Indonesia, I find food like this that's very creative. What am I looking at here?
This is actually my favorite drink.
Jamu, a traditional drink meant to remedy a variety of ailments.
Cheers.
Cheers.
In lieu of booze, you could try getting a kick from this.
What?
Yeah.
What is
it's
that?
turmeric.
Turmeric and what?
Sugar, of course.
Of course. A woman just came by a second ago on a bicycle. She had a bunch of bottles in the back. And then now I'm looking at something that looks like water and turmeric and then a freaking raw egg yolk. Is that honey?
Yeah, it's honey. Do you think that's extreme to eat the eyeball of
Yeah.
the fish?
You're saying this tastes like fish eyeball.
Almost like that. You want me to drink this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
I can't.
How was it?
I'm sorry.
Do you want to pretend like you did? That was a mouthful of flavor.
Yeah.
The egg yolk was kind of leathery on the outside. I thought it would just break right away. I had to chomp it, and then it was just an ooze in my
Yeah.
mouth with a bunch of honey. Wow, what an experience. My life flashed before my eyes. In Islam, I know when you go to the mosque, men and women are separate.
Yes, that's the rule of Islam.
It seems like the idea is to have the least amount of distractions as possible.
Yeah, that's right.
So do you feel more comfortable just being surrounded by women only?
Yeah, what should I have to do with men anyway? Like, if we're going to pray, we don't even talk with the women. We just like concentration and we do what we do.
I'm no expert on Islam. In my experience, each country interprets the Quran's guidance and laws in different ways, and each country thinks their way is the correct way. But Indonesia is no theocracy. Its citizens are free to present themselves to the public as they wish.
It's interesting because I've been to a place like Oman where I went with a Bedouin man to meet his family. He had to literally hide his wife and daughter in the house, then he could come out and speak to us. But then I come to a place like Indonesia, I sit across the table from you, no problem.
Me coming here, of course, my husband is give me permit to come here. So basically, the regulation is the same, but how they apply it based on their heart.
One of my goals today is to seek understanding. As an outsider, it's difficult to comprehend the purpose of some Muslim practices, like this next woman, who's not shown her face in public for years. Is this a life she chose for herself, And on a more practical level, how does one eat when their face must remain hidden? To find out, we've come here. A local restaurant with one and only one jaw-dropping dish.
Oh,
Whoa.
this looks like it's from a T-Rex. It is gigantic. What do you call this?
Sum sum.
Sum sum.
Bones, beef bones that are boiled and simmered in a broth for hours. Upon serving, they're seasoned with nutmeg, shallot sauce, garlic, pepper, and MSG. Then finally, a sprinkle of dried celery and onions.
There's a bit of meat and fat on the outside, cartilage too, and then the broth that everything is inside of. So even though it's bones, there's still plenty to eat.
Not the bone, yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't eat the bone. I figured that part out.
Joining us, Andre's friend Aisha.
Aisha, for you, is this a difficult thing to eat?
No.
Have you already tried it? You have to drink it, not eat it.
You have to drink the marrow?
Yeah.
Wow, it is like a shot of butter. Super fatty, very, very rich. That is wild.
That's why we don't eat this every day.
For you, what is the best part here?
It's everything. The meat outside this also a great treat. Try one.
The fat, the cartilage, the meat is so tender. It's unbelievable.
Very soft.
Aisha,
Yes?
I've never eaten with someone who wears the niqab. It's the first time for me. And as a man sitting down with two women, every time you eat, I'm wondering, should I look away? Can I still look at you and speak to you?
Yeah.
What is the proper etiquette?
Boleh ditengok kalian ya? Kalau misalnya kalau ngobrol kan boleh ditengok ya.
Hanya untuk wanita.
Nanti wanita ya. They're wearing the cover. She say that I only socialize with women. Yeah.
Atau untuk bila dalam majelis ilmu yang
You are the guest, come here, you want to know what is this, so we can meet you for a special occasion only.
Do you go to restaurants very often? Not often. It seems like it would be difficult.
no, karena kan harus terjaga ya kayak
Normal
gini.
dish is okay, but this one is special because this is extreme food.
What do you think? Good?
I like it. Yes. This is my first time.
Your first time?
Yes.
I want to pour in some of this broth, trying to get it like a bone marrow soup.
For sure you're gonna gain some weight. After.
It is so rich and fatty, but man, that is absolutely delicious.
fatty.
Can I ask how old you are? Is that rude? I have no idea.
She's 35.
Do you have a job?
Rumah Tafis.
She's a teacher.
So for women who follow Islam, I notice some don't wear any coverings, some wear a hijab, some wear the niqab, but why should you be covered?
The principle, the rule is we want to avoid the attention.
Layer by layer, I didn't know narrowness in my child.
In the teachings of Islam, men and women are advised to dress modestly. Both the hijab and niqab are interpretations of modest dress for women.
Who decides what the woman wears?
The woman herself. The husband also have authority.
In some societies, wearing a hijab is limited to married women. In others, girls begin wearing the hijab after puberty.
In some cities, like Jakarta, many working women wearing the hijab, going out, doing business, but they're wearing lipstick, a lot of makeup, they have their eyes done. To me, that just seemed like an interesting contrast. You know, on one hand, there's a form of modesty, on the other hand, there's a form of wanting to be seen.
Yeah, sometimes people want to follow a little bit and a little bit more, but the standard rules is there.
Now, Aisha, in what situations can you take off the niqab?
Di rumah saat hanya dengan
She can take off the niqab only with all women and also with family. Or if in the restaurant they have like a private room, she can take it off.
Oh. I think that for some Western people who aren't able, like me, to sit down and ask questions directly, we have this idea that the way I see you in the street is the way you must look and behave everywhere in your life. And that you just are always like in this prison of fabric, never able to express yourself. But it sounds like there's plenty of places where you're still open, you're still free, and just doing what most other people do.
Yeah.
Next up, a food permissible in Islam, but completely controversial in the USA where it's considered a pet.
When my team told me we're gonna be eating goldfish, I thought, there's no way.
Here in Andre's home, tucked into the city's edge, you'll find a familiar sight. 3 young girls at play and food cooking in the kitchen.
I was excited to come here today because you're doing some home cooking. Oh, hi. Oh, okay. They wanted attention and then they got too much and they got overwhelmed. You have a home-cooked meal here and a goldfish.
Yeah.
A lot of people have these as pets,
Yeah, because it's so pretty and also the color is also special too.
but the flavor's even better than that?
Yeah, even better.
Arsik is an Indonesian spicy fish dish that's only reserved for special occasions. Blend together a potent mix of turmeric, ginger, ONDE-ONDE, a type of pepper, kamiri, or candle nut, shallots, garlic, green chilies, and red chilies. Now, the fish. Add to the pan along with long beans, lemongrass, leeks, tomato, and torch ginger. It's a type of perennial tropical plant that folks here use for food and for medicine. Finally, add the sauce, some salt, and water, and cook for hours until the sauce becomes thick.
So we have the fish here.
But you must be very careful with the bones because codfish are very well known with the bones stuck in our throat.
And then what, you eat rice?
No, people believe that. We have to stir up the plate to take it out. And then, I don't know.
That doesn't seem, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not one to shun any culture, but turning your plate like you're steering a ship doesn't feel like it would remove the bone from your throat.
The scale actually is not removed like the other fish that we eat.
Oh yes, it's not a skin, that is just legit scales on there. Okay, let's try it out. Wow, this is like a flavor bomb. It is so spicy. I taste lemongrass, it's super fragrant, very spicy. My face is turning red a little bit, but beyond that, I cannot get over taking a bite of that skin. You're eating like chewy, crunchy scales of the fish. I've never had that before. Oh, I got a little bit of bone.
Okay, have you stirred it up? See? You do believe it, right?
I don't believe it.
No.
I was waiting to die.
You can eat the chunk of rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Or you can try this also.
Oh, the whole head. Thank you so much. Very nice. The cheek meat is the best. How often do you eat fish?
Fish every day, but goldfish is not every day. Maybe like once in a year. It's expensive because with that amount of money that you buy, you only get a little meat.
I love how purely a mom you are. Your kids just keep coming continuously, asking for things, and you're tending to them, and it doesn't interrupt a single thought that you have.
I have 3 kids, I get used to it.
Right, exactly. I want to try this really quick. Is that bread?
Actually like a pancake.
Ooh, that looks awesome.
Roti jala, a net pancake that's made from flour, coconut milk, ground turmeric, pandan powder, and blue pea flour. It's the perfect vehicle for her chicken curry.
Really nice. It's spicy. I taste it up my nostrils. I love the coconut cream. There's layers of spices. It's very rich. It all soaks up into that roti jala, and then it's just so fun to chew on. What do you think makes Indonesian food special?
I'm so thankful that I live in Indonesia, so I can see there's so many diversity from the west side of Indonesia, like Sumatra, Java. Mostly people are Muslim, and we eat Muslim food.
Even though Indonesia has the largest population of Muslims in the world, it's a country also home to some of the most extreme tribes, cultures, and ways of life.
For you women, would you say Indonesia is a Muslim country?
Of course, it's Muslim country, but in here, the government is republic. The regulation is not based on Islam regulation.
Well, my mission for the rest of the time I'm in Indonesia is to kind of seek out these other groups, these fringe groups, the people who are less known, less represented, and to discover them, their culture, and their food. But first, I wanted to hang out with all of you today, get to know some of the more halal food, and I had an incredible time. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Very nice for us too, having this with you.
In a northern Sumatra village, a few hours outside Medan City,
God, I'm so fucking nervous.
you'll find rare, fascinating foods
The more I eat it, the more addicted I am.
that have withstood the test of time.
It's so peppery.
I'm on a mission to try it all.
It's not gonna kill you, right?
Yeah, sure, but no.
Thank you so much for inviting me into your home here. This is pork belly. That much I recognize. But this sauce in the middle, can you tell me what's going on here?
It's a blood sauce, actually, yeah.
Blood sauce.
Blood sauce.
Sliced pork is seasoned with salt and lime, then skewered and grilled over fire. Now, the gory condiment. Pig blood is collected fresh and mixed with a potent combination of spices. Local Szechuan peppercorns, wild eggplant, garlic, chilies, torch ginger, candle nut, and lemongrass. Add a couple of eggs, lime leaves, whip, filter the blood, and cook briefly. One whiff of this could kill the wrong lutefisk-loving octogenarian, but for me...
Interesting. It is like a spice milk. It just tastes like so many different aromatic spices and seasonings working all together. Super flavorful.
Just a bit spicy, but it's not from chili. It's from Sichuan pepper.
That is excellent. If you brought your friend out here, had them try it, they would never guess that there's blood in there. Do not try that, however, if your friend is Muslim. Yesterday, we were in Medan. I'm eating all halal food, and today it's the complete opposite. We're here eating the most haram thing you could possibly eat. And I think this perfectly shows how diverse and dynamic this country is.
The Caronese population consists largely of Christians, but it wasn't always that way. Dutch missionaries, or more realistically, colonists, introduced Christianity to the Karo people in the 1890s, but it wasn't adopted without force. As time has passed, the negative association between Christianity and the colonizers has faded, and today the religion is much more widespread in this area.
There is many Muslims in Karo, but we never talk about religion in Karo. This is the point. Tradition is more important than religion here in Karo.
Are people in Indonesia able to get along regardless of their religion?
Cannot speak, but here in Karo, yeah, it's okay.
Joining me today, local Karo, Willie. He's on a mission to preserve and showcase his culture to the world. He also believes some of the foods I've eaten on my show can't compare to what I'll be experiencing today.
There is a very unique food that the Karo people eat that you can't find anywhere else in the world.
The dish in question is called pagi pagi. I don't know if I could call it a beef dish, but a cow is certainly required.
What we really care about is not the meat, not the cartilage, not the brain or organs. We want the contents of the stomach. This is weird. So in the days leading up to the slaughter, the cow is eating like a king. Beautiful, glorious green salads. And I am gonna be eating exactly what this cow ate. Eat up, boy. Girl? Boy? Eat up, they. Can I call a cow a they?
After 5 days on this diet, when the cow's stomach contains nothing but pure premium grasses, it's time for the extraction.
When was the last time you tried it?
Never. This is not interest more than food.
If I'm eating it, will you try it out with me?
Kamu mau makan?
She said yes. To me, she said yes.
After slaughtering, the animal is skinned. The meat and intestines are portioned for later use, and the stomach is split open, revealing the contents we're after.
Does this look good to you?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Take me through it. What is the next step?
I'm gonna place this stuff inside, and after that, we squeeze.
Sounds great. Oh boy, how did I get talked into this?
Pagi pagi is an icon of the Caronese people.
Do I pull it out?
Yeah.
Flavored and built around this very liquid.
It's so juicy, huh?
Yeah, it's so juicy. It's like sugarcane juice.
This rare dish is reserved only to mark important events.
See?
Oh, I smell it even more than I see it.
For example, a successful harvest.
Wow.
Or the arrival of an awkward bandana-wearing outsider.
And then we discard it here?
And it's good for the fertilizer, yeah?
Fertilizer. Fantastic.
Turning this into a rewarding meal for a season of hard work.
This guy is an absolute beast.
It's gonna take time, effort, and a little bit of magic. As this pungent juice boils down, they add in beef bones, meat, and innards. Now a little bit of fiber. Cassava leaves, tree bark, coconut, wild eggplants, and tomatoes. The proteins and veggies braise in the hot stomach acid, becoming tender. While this cooks, Willie and I check out the second most strange food of the day.
Willie, what am I looking at here?
Dragonfly's larva.
The local name for these creatures, chibet, young ferocious carnivores that dominate the aquatic insect food chain.
Where do you catch these?
In the rice field. Every August normally.
People are always talking about eating organic, eating seasonal. I think this is what they mean. Have you ever eaten it raw?
No, no, no.
Why not though? It's like sushi.
No.
It's not gonna kill you, right?
Yeah, sure, but no. You ever try?
Yeah. Nice.
Sweet, yeah?
Yeah, they taste a little fishy.
Yeah, but it's sweet.
It's sweet. So eventually this would become a dragonfly, but instead we're gonna turn it into a meal?
Yeah, why not?
First, concoct a potent potion of candlenut, turmeric, garlic, lime leaves, local Szechuan peppers, forced eggplant, chilies, and torched ginger. Now, throw in the dragonfly larva. Add coconut and mix it into one consistency. This pest-filled porridge will cook inside a bamboo tube that's topped with coconut milk. Seal it shut and roast over the fire. Villagers typically eat inside. This longhouse is over a century old, owned by the family of today's cook.
Oh, wow. It's unbelievably spicy, aromatic. I like the flavors.
The taste is complete. You get the spicy, bitter, and then creamy from the coconut.
I feel the texture of the coconut, and I'm used to that being associated with something sweet, but this is anything but sweet. It's so intense. By the end of chewing it, you're like, oh yeah, I think there was a bug in there too. Here's just a bug alone. Not fishy anymore. The more I eat it, the more addicted I am. This could be like good drinking food. Well, I think every food could be a good drinking food. Got a bowl of cereal? Drinking food. Pop-Tarts? Drinking food. Everything can be a drinking food if you're an alcoholic. I'm curious, this house we're in, how old do you think this house is?
Maybe more than 100.
This traditional Caronese longhouse is an architectural marvel. These bamboo and wood shelters were built without machinery because there wasn't any around. Beyond that, there are no nails or screws. Rather, palm fibers were used to bind materials together. One of these houses could shelter up to 8 families. This one holds 4 families and 4 kitchens, all sharing one central communal space.
Maybe when they sleep, other maybe speaking, cannot get a good rest.
I know that feeling.
But it's already running how many years?
I see, and regardless of what I think of how awkward it might be, people here have managed to make more humans. I'm just saying, it seems complicated.
Maybe in the field.
Maybe in the, oh.
Yeah.
If you're someone who needs a private space, this place may not be for you, but it does have a way of promoting a communal, social lifestyle.
In Caro, maybe all the house they built together. No carpenter, no payment here. We call Aron, working all together.
It seems like this building is a piece of history. It's almost just like we're eating in a museum. There's a bunch of houses in this village, maybe about 5 houses like this.
As time has passed, tradition has been set aside in place of concrete structures.
Houses that are obviously easier to build, cheaper to build. When this disappears, they're not going to make another one.
For sure.
This house is now a monument to a culture that's faded over time. However, some traditions are still going strong today. Our green dish has cooked and it's now in dire need of powerful flavor enhancers. Lemongrass, ginger, torched ginger, and green chilies join the walk.
The dish is not yet finished, although this has undergone a dramatic transformation so far. Better? Wow, it is really a bold, sour smell. I feel like I've had dishes similar to this before. In Mindanao, in the Philippines, they had kind of a goat poop soup. And the Ede people in Vietnam, they use the liquid from the intestines to cook with. So I'm used to that, but I've never had just the straight up juices from a cow's stomach. But I'm going to real soon.
As a final touch, coconut milk and candle nut.
Willie, you have outdone yourself, my man. Hold on, we gotta unveil these things. 3 dishes. This is the chicken with a kind of a blood pudding on top. And then here is what?
It's lemang.
That looks incredible. We're probably gonna try that first. But also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this right here. Now that you're looking at it, does it look maybe better than you thought?
Choba.
Okay, she didn't say it's better. She's like, I said I'll try it. What else do you want? I think we should start with this. Right here in the center, we have this beefy dish.
Fried lemongrass with a mixture of ground spices, garlic, onion, candle nut, ginger, turmeric, chilies, and coriander. Add beef and let it absorb all these aromatic flavors. Add coconut milk and cook some more.
You definitely need the rice to soak up all these wonderful juices. It's so peppery. Little gamey, but man, that's really good. The spice hits you immediately, like doing a line of Tabasco. Let me get some of this beef. It's savory, it's spicy, it's a little sour.
Enak, it's really good.
Yummy. People here, are they speaking the local Indonesian language, or is there a separate Karo language?
Karo language only, yeah. Caronese language almost same like Melayu.
Here, we have our second dish.
Chicken with blood sauce. It's a dish you'll only find here. The chicken is cleaned, singed, and boiled with herbs and spices. In a separate pan, they mix coconut with chilies, lemongrass, green onions, and chicken stock. Now, a Karo favorite, the blood sauce. Instead of just pork blood, they mix in chicken blood. First, a squeeze of lime and lime leaves, crush candlenut and chilies, and mix that in with the blood. For even more aroma, crush and throw in lemongrass and cook briefly. The cooked chicken is chopped and added to the coconut sauce. Shred the rest and assemble. To serve, mix the sauce and meat together and throw it back.
Very good flavors. There's just a load of flavor from the spices, and the blood just becomes this kind of binding agent. It brings all the spice together with the chicken, but it doesn't have any strong flavor in itself. This is not for every day.
No.
It's obviously for special occasions, because it's just so much work to get it to this point. I like it. We have the alcohol coming now just in time, right before our final course. Oh, I'm not sure if that's helping. I think I need to wash my mouth out with this. Are you proud of how it turned out? Is this what you expected?
Yes. It's good. For sure it's good.
All right. You looked like how my parents look when I said, "Are you proud of me?" Please try it out. I don't know.
Come back.
You got the right idea. It's good stuff, huh?
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Believe me, it's good.
Pretty mixed reviews. It seemed like we had one thumbs down over here, something in the middle, and definitely a big thumbs up. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Here's what I'm gonna try to do. I find that when I eat stuff like this, what works best is to really not eat it quickly, not try to get through the experience. I'm gonna try to eat it like I'm using your taste buds. Huh. God, there's really a wave of experiences. There's so many spices in here, but I gotta say, this first curry that we had way more powerful flavor. This does not. The spices are doing their best, but they have quite the adversary here going against that cow stomach acid.
So creamy, huh?
It is creamy, and then about halfway through, I get a whiff of, oh right, cow manure, but then it goes away, and then it comes back. Wow, it's so epic. It's bold, it is gamey, it's earthy, it's got so many interesting, strange dimensions and flavors to it. This is one of the most unique, interesting things I've ever tried. And I had to come here all the way to Indonesia to find it, and that is what I love about this country.
All over Southeast Asia, you'll find tribes like the Karo, once distinct people who over time are swallowed up by the mainstream culture, leaving a residue of faded or diluted traditions. Keeping the traditions alive will require nothing less than a concerted, focused effort.
We start to respect for the Karo tradition. I don't want to say, let's go to save Karo. No, let Karo save me.
In the Banten region of Indonesia, in the remote hills, you'll find the Baduy, an isolated society known for its strict laws.
If you transgressed, what were the consequences you might face?
Including the complete prohibition of technology. That means no TVs, no phones, no bikes or cars.
Is it really worth it?
Here, the Baduy people live life now as they did hundreds of years ago.
Have you ever held a phone?
Next, I'm on a mission to reveal the secret of this lost culture.
Today, I have resolved to catch the bees as they catch the bees, with my bare hands.
I want to see how they live.
This man has no fear. He's also wearing shorts, no shoes, and he has a very nice bandana like me.
And how they eat.
Did you know this squirrel, personally?
And it all starts here.
Today, I'm gonna meet the Amish of Asia. These are the Baduy people.
The reclusive Baduy, or Kanakas, has been able to preserve their traditional lifestyle for more than 400 years.
This is one of the rare preserved tribes you'll find anywhere around the world these days, and it's because they don't really allow outsiders to enter the inner circle. We're gonna get as close as we can, but we're gonna have to go to the outer circle. This is a protective layer around the inner circle that prevents people like me from wandering in.
As trite as it sounds, they live in harmony with nature, meaning they won't even change the landscape to grow crops, and they don't raise livestock.
Since I'm kind of unsure about the food situation there, I've opted to bring some food to them as a gift. Now, they can eat these and outsiders can bring these inside. This is a basket of chicken. Different from a bucket of chicken, but not that different. I've got my chickens. We're headed to the village now.
Meanwhile, in the Badui village, breakfast is being prepared. Here, the food that starts their day, it's got a lot more kick than coffee. I'm talking about sambal, tomatoes and chilies, mashed into a fine paste. Fry up shallots and mix with the fiery red mixture. Finish with salt and sugar, then reduce it until you get the flavor condensed final product.
There's a splendid looking breakfast in front of us. It looks like what 5-star hotels try to do, but they cannot quite reach something that looks this beautiful.
This is Julie and his wife Sonny, both members of the Outer Circle.
This is a must menu and weddings and special occasions like that.
Bridging the gap between me and the Badui, former journalist Tacha.
So you start obviously with the rice.
Since the Badui cannot raise livestock, their staple food is rice, as well as several vegetables that they grow here.
Eggplants, cucumbers, cassava leaves, and the papaya leaves are boiled.
The greens are commonly called lalapan. They're dipped and eaten with sambal.
You like it?
I like it. A little spicy, but not too spicy. All the flavor is coming from the sambal. These vegetables are just boiled. In fact, without the sambal, it's pretty much gonna be flavorless. Sambal tastes tomatoey, it's spicy, and there's a great chew to the cassava leaves.
This one is the boiled pate, and this one is the raw one.
This is pate.
Oh, it smells good.
Also known as stink beans.
Smells good, really?
Yeah, it smells like garlic.
Oh my, but it is stinky.
They can have a potent, somewhat rancid taste, but the real stink comes well after the meal has ended.
Wait until you go to the toilet after this.
We probably won't film that part, but you know, on our OnlyFans, we'll do a bonus video.
They can be boiled.
It's kind of snappy and crunchy, like between a peanut and a lima bean.
Or eaten raw.
It's more like a green bean, like kind of chlorophyll taste to it. I like both.
Finally, dried fish with coconut. Start by slicing up the dried fish, then add it to a banana leaf with coconut and spices and steam.
Oh wow, yeah, the fish tastes almost like pickle.
Try with the coconut. Gives different flavor, right?
The fish is kind of powerful, so you want something to go with it, but the coconut might be a little plain without the fish. They're a good duo. This is all excellent. Here, you guys don't eat a lot of meat, or do you?
This is the difference between inner Badui and outer Badui. Here, sometimes they eat beef or lamb, but it is forbidden in inner Badui. They only eat chicken and fish.
That's it?
Yeah.
Like many others here, Julie and his family used to live in the inner circle.
Can you tell me about the sacred inner circle?
Over time, the intense pressure of the Badui lifestyle gave way to a fracturing, which divided them into two groups. The inner circle is considered pure, mainly by those inside the inner circle.
There are so many things forbidden in the inner Badui.
They adhere to rigid social tenets.
They cannot go by transportation, use electricity. They also wear white headbands, no other colors.
And if they don't, they may face harsh consequences.
Each village has partner village, but from outer Badui that is used as traditional jail. The one that breaks the law will be sent there.
The outer circle consists of those who felt they couldn't live up to the strict Badui standards.
When you lived in the inner circle, what did you do to make money?
He sold fruits and vegetables like this, so he went outside to the market and he sold it. No one sells inside the inner Badui.
So you were in a very exclusive community, but to make a living, you had to interact with people around you. So you're constantly seeing the modern world, cars, telephones, all forms of technology that he was not able to interact with. What was the moment where it was just too much and you felt like life would have to be better outside than inside?
Sure, people in the outer circle use technology, but I suspect they were driven here in search of social freedom.
He just didn't think that it was right to have that strict rules like that. So he chose to go outside because he thought that he couldn't change the law in inner Badui.
Soon, I'll experience the most extreme protein source consumed by the Badui.
Oh my God!
But first, the most dangerous daily chore in the village, harvesting bee larvae.
Behind me, a box full of bees, also full of larvae. The bees don't really love letting their babies get stolen. That's what we're gonna do anyways. How it works is this. You rub this on your hands.
This is sinte leaf, an herb that locals use as a bee repellent. Let's hope that it works.
Today, I have resolved to catch the bees as they catch the bees. Not with any protection, not with a bee suit, not with any netting, but with my bare hands. Why? Because that's what they do, so I can do it too, I assume. probably incorrect. Meanwhile, take a look at my camera guys. They're both outfitted with face nets and dishwashing gloves. They're gonna be 100% safe, and that dishwater is not gonna hurt their hands at all. You guys ready to wash some dishes? Let's do this. Right here, he has a coconut husk. He's lit it on fire. This is gonna be used to smoke out the bees.
Meet the extraction expert, Mad.
Bees hate smoke.
Without gloves or a head net, Mad approaches the angry bees without hesitation.
Oh, that is absolutely 100% full of bees. Why am I doing this? This isn't Jackass. Now he's put the coconut husk inside of the box. The bees starting to fly. They are confused, they're bewildered, they really dislike smoke. Now he's gonna slowly start pulling out the larva and he's gonna put it on this plate. Oh wow, so the honeycomb is right here and it's covered with bees. Oh my gosh, there's so many bees. There's all around me. There's hundreds of bees just on this honeycomb alone right now. Oh my gosh, look at that. There's so much. Okay, now they're on me. I feel the wind of their wings caressing me. I'm worried about talking and breathing. I don't want one to go in my throat. I feel like some of them are crawling in my hands, but no stings. I'm feeling good so far.
For the Badui, bee products are a crucial source of income.
Now it looks like he's closing up the box. It's empty.
In fact, their forest honey is famous throughout Java.
So now we've gotten a short distance from the nest. He's going piece by piece, and he's gonna pick up each part of honeycomb and try to get the bees off of it. Amazingly, he's not getting stung at all. He just kind of swipes the bees to the side, and they leave. Mostly they leave. Can you do that? He just jumped out the bees. I'm gonna leave in just a moment so I don't get stung in the eyeball, but that is how you do it. We're gonna get everything and go take a look somewhere else, a little bit less bee infested. Good work, good work. Right here, we have the product we were after. I got through with no stings, and my guy just got one sting. And he's a pretty tough dude, so I think he's okay. Let's talk about the larva. Most of the time when you see combs like this, it's filled with honey. But here, this one is full of pupa, or young bees at different stages of development. How it works is the queen lays an egg in each cell. After a few days, it hatches, and it starts to eat everything that's inside. Within just a few days, it gets 1,500 times bigger. Once it's big in that cell, the worker bees put a cap on top of it. So that is what you see here. And you can actually pull the cap off and you will see something like this. And this is like a mini cocoon inside of that cell. They are gonna somehow get all these larvae out of the honeycomb itself, and we're gonna eat them.
Preparations have begun for a traditional Badui dinner, including that bee larva we just retrieved. Protein is a rare treat here, and since they don't raise animals, they must subside on whatever happens to cross their path, including this.
Wandering around the village here, they have little convenience stores. Places like this where you can get snacks, maybe some soap, shampoo, but they also have this. These are squirrels that's been locally hunted by the Badui people. They hunt squirrels, they catch squirrels, they eat squirrels. Whatever they do, I do.
Grilled squirrel. They start by singeing the fur. Extract the organs and throw them on bamboo skewers. Add a generous salt sprinkle and grill until they're cooked through.
Dinner is served. What do you think?
Oh, they're happy. They're very happy.
Joining us, Julie and his daughter, Naipa.
This is an incredible spread right here. It reminds me of a Filipino boodle fight. First of all, this is the chicken.
To make chicken stew with coconut milk, you'll first need to dispatch a chicken. The only issue is, even though the outer circle is a place of relative social freedom, some rules never die. Here, they're not allowed to dispatch chickens within the village. The solution? Step outside the village edge and ask a non-Badui person to do it for you.
Is there a reason for it that they know, or that's just the way it is?
Because the chicken that they have here are only for the owners, for the ritual events or weddings.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
In a wok, fry up turmeric paste. Add fresh coconut milk, bay leaves, tomatoes, salt, and seasoning powder. Then, the chicken.
Oh, it's very nice. Delicious spices, lots of turmeric, not super strong, powerful flavors. Some Indonesian food can be very powerful. This is not like that. This is just more like gentle home cooking. I love that. We have 2 foods left, and I feel like we should build up to that one. This is the bee larva here. How does it work?
After the honeycombs are cleaned, they're cut down to size, seasoned with salt, and wrapped in banana leaves. Then grilled over fire for 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. What? So she's gonna pick one out. She's trying it for the very first time. Oh. Oh yeah, I got a piece right here. This is definitely the larva. Let's try it out. It has a leathery exterior. It manages to be chewy, a little bit sour, very earthy. I kind of like it. Do you like it for real?
suka.
She likes it but doesn't feel like eating it again.
Oh, sounds like she doesn't like it. Last one. Right here, we have the squirrels. Did you know this squirrel personally?
Kan tadi kami yang.
Yeah, she cooked it.
How do you know if you cooked it properly since you've never eaten it? I'm trying to tear a piece off and it is not easy.
Rada berdarah.
There's no blood anymore, so you know that it's already cooked.
Try it out. A bit salty, a little bit of seasoning on there. I want to say it's smoky because I guess the outside is kind of charred. But the meat itself is very soft, it's chewy, but in a juicy way. It's very nice. I'm just so fascinated with this place because there is this inner circle, this sacred place that I've just heard stories about. I've seen a couple people walk through the village, but it's a place I'll never get to see. And there's people here who used to live there. They can still go there, but they choose to not live there, to not have to abide by the intense, strict rules there. Are you happy that you left?
Saya penyesalan sama sekali.
He's happy about his decision and no regret at all because he say he can feel the freedom here, but he can also still see his family in Inner Baduy.
This decision that you made nearly 20 years ago, how will it affect your kids and your grandkids?
Biasa-biasa baik.
Even in Inner Baduy or in Outer Baduy, the family depends on him. So the one thing that makes it different is how he can make money. It's a lot easier for him to make money here in Outer Baduy because the rules are not too strict.
You left the Inner Baduy, but you still are living among the Baduy people. Still, many of the traditions, customs, foods, ways of dressing and living are still maintained here. So there must be something that you still like about the Baduy culture. Why did you stay here instead of just completely removing yourself?
It's enough here and it's still near to Inner Baduy, so it's enough for him.
It seems like an ideal situation. He still gets to see his family. He still gets to be among his people. He just doesn't have all the rules.
We're now in South Sulawesi, Indonesia. A 2-hour drive from Makassar City will bring you here, a village in the middle of nowhere. This is where you'll find the Bugis people.
Least scary motorcycle gang ever.
An ancient culture with unique food customs.
It's just so awesome. I've never seen anything like this.
And a way of life that's not always easy to understand.
What's he doing?
The most holy among the Bugis people is the Bisu.
He's reading the coconut.
Reading.
The so-called multi-gender healers, who, before Islam, were believed to be the intermediaries between the people and the gods. I'm on a mission to learn about this culture and its food.
Legit. All day, I just repeat whatever they say and they love it. What is going on here?
Many kinds of traditional cakes.
Is this usually the size of your typical breakfast?
We do not eat all like this.
Just some of them?
Yes, some of them.
A typical breakfast here might include these colorful cakes, doughy, sweet donut holes made with a rice base. But the options don't end there.
What is this one called?
Dange.
Dange.
This carb-heavy creation is made with glutinous rice flour, grated coconut, and brown sugar. Seems simple enough until you see how they cook it. A superheated mold of clay stuffed with this calorie-dense mixture. Then it's sealed with brown sugar and left to sit on a banana leaf where it continues to cook.
Is this something that you grew up with?
Yeah, I eat a lot when I was growing up. This is one of my favorite cakes.
Do you like dange?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And cigarettes?
Yes, of course.
How many cigarettes would you say you smoke in a day?
3 packs of cigarettes.
That's impressive.
Yes, continuous.
Yeah, continuous.
The dange cake can last for months. In the past, it used to feed fighters on the battlefield. Now, it's served as breakfast.
Amazing caramelized taste. It's sweet, it's toasted, some parts are crunchy, some are chewy. This is really delicious. This is breakfast.
Yeah.
It almost tastes like a dessert to me. Here's another type of cake.
Barongko.
This barongko cake uses banana as its base, mashing it into a paste before mixing it with raw eggs, a load of sugar, and a pinch of baking soda and coconut milk. Now steam it in a vessel of banana leaves.
This one is much different in texture, more watery.
Usually we use spoon.
Joining me, Mastudi. He'll be doing his best to translate for us today.
Nice.
Yeah, it's almost like the texture of flan. It's very sweet, almost syrupy.
Mastudi belongs to the Bugis tribe, a group located mainly in this part of Indonesia. They have their own language, customs, and of course, food.
You know, this cake usually eaten in wedding party, but formerly in 1950s, it is the traditional cake for only king.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did people ever secretly cook it and not tell anyone?
Yeah.
Can I ask, are you Muslim?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Bugis number nearly 3 million. Traditions here were different before the arrival of Islam.
When did Islam become popular in this area?
In 1603.
Now, faith here reflects a combination of ancient Bugis beliefs and traditional Muslim practices. This means, in spite of their Muslim beliefs, they also recognize the existence of 5 genders. The most important among them, the Bisu. The villagers call him Bisu Nani.
Bisu is a multi-gender indigenous within community.
A genderless figure who's believed to be a preserver of classic Bugis culture.
So what came first, the tradition of the Bisu or Islam?
Before Islam came, Bisu was there.
The Bisu belongs to an ancient community, a group of chosen people who were revered back in the Bugis Empire thousands of years ago when they were advisors to kings, healers, and shamans.
It's not good if there is no Bisu.
In Bugis society, the Bisu is treated with the utmost respect. Commoners and royalty came to the Bisu for advice and healing, a type of healing that I'll soon experience. But first, today's epic Bugis meal begins with a single goat. All this creature will be utilized from front to back, top to bottom. But the most coveted offering requires the head. Once cleaned, this cranium is cracked in half. Now it's ready to receive a layer of flavor paste, including a blend of turmeric, lemongrass, chilies, pepper, and cinnamon.
Next, they take that head with the seasoning caked inside and they're gonna wrap it shut with an intestine. With an intestine. It's just so awesome. I've never seen anything like this. It's very resourceful. I mean, they're using the intestine almost like a rope. She's literally knotting the animal's guts right now. How heavy metal is that? And consider, this is technically halal food.
This Franken creation joins a pot along with cubed goat meat, more spice paste, and tamarind water. After boiling a bit, they add coconut milk to smooth it out. This is the land portion of our Bugis surf and turf.
Boom, right here.
Now for the seafood.
Guys, a ton of traditional food is underway today. We're gonna see a lot of food and a lot of new creatures. Masapi, this is a local type of eel. Starts with a tight coiling of the eel and then shoving a stake through its body multiple times, like a giant lollipop. It smells incredibly fishy here. I wish you guys could smell, I'm glad you guys cannot smell what it smells like right now. This is gonna transfer over the fire, but in the end, this will not be a grilled fish. This is actually gonna become a soup.
While the eel is grilling, a coconut also hits the flame. But this coconut will not be used for our meal. Rather, it's a serum required for my private appointment with the Bisu.
What's he doing?
He's reading the coconut.
Reading?
Healing sessions like this are how most Bisus earn their living today.
He's talking to God.
They're the only conduit through which communication from God to human can travel.
Drink.
I drink?
Yes.
Already?
Yes.
Okay.
With this rare inherited knowledge and power,
Oh, more.
3 times.
the Bisu can alter nature, putting an end to the decaying effects of entropy, healing you and making you whole again. Now, at least that's what they say.
After this, he can have healing for you. So what is your complaint?
Doing this show, I go around the world, I eat a lot of different foods. People ask me all the time, do you get diarrhea? And I say no, I don't get diarrhea because the reality is I've had diarrhea for the last 5 years straight. I don't know what it's like to not have diarrhea.
Okay.
Can you help me?
To become a Bisu, one must be both male and female. Though this isn't always meant literally. For example, one could be male externally but female internally.
Okay.
This combination allows a metagender or multi-gender being to emerge.
Excuse me, he said.
Okay.
Bisu Nani realized his particular destiny in a dream when he was 15. Since then, he trained with the Bisu master for over 15 years.
Oh, well, all right. Oh, okay. Just spit on her thumb, put it on my eyebrows.
Uh-oh, going under.
If you're feeling confused, that might be because it's kind of confusing. And not everyone in the village agrees to these same guidelines.
All right. right. Can you tell me what you just did?
You will never feel it anymore.
How long will it take to work?
Usually 3 days or up to 1 week.
That would be great, because it's been years. A week? I can wait a week.
With the promise of a healthy gut, I'm now looking forward to our village feast even more. After the eel is grilled, it's cooked with a lemongrass bundle, coconut milk, and turmeric powder. Then it's simmered until it's finished. Next to the eel, one of the most unique fish you'll find in Indonesia.
We are getting close to our final meal here. I wanted to show you a very unique food. This is the boxfish. They are frying the outside of the body. What makes this fish so unique? Well, it's like a box, super hard exoskeleton. It's like Clark Kent's jaw.
Before it hopped into this frying pan, it was sliced, hit, and split open so they could remove its insides. The meat is mashed, then blended in a mix of flour, egg, spring onion, garlic powder, and salt. Finally, fry the mixture bit by bit before shoving it back in the home from which it came.
Oh, really? Look, you always know the food is good if the locals cook it, and then they will not touch it at all themselves. This is truly a gift. In the US, usually if you get something like this, it's gonna be a vehicle for sauce. You're gonna need tartar sauce or some flavors to go with it. This is so flavorful. They put such an abundance of spices inside. You don't need anything else. But yeah. All day, I just repeat whatever they say and they love it. Super delicious. The meat itself, not fishy at all. It's almost like a chicken, like soft, moist chicken breast. It's absolutely delicious.
With the eel complete and that heavy metal goat head hitting the table, it's finally time to eat.
This is awesome.
Joining us, the villagers who helped cook this masterpiece, and two special guests, Agusneni and Rini. We'll get to know them more soon.
Let's do a little tour of the table. I mean, we have goat sauté, we have goat ribs that have been boiled and then grilled. We have this huge fish, the eel, and then this right here is the star. The goat head literally wrapped in intestine. But I think we should wait to try this. I want to try this right away. The sauté.
Sauté is beloved around Indonesia. I've seen it made with horse, and today they're making it with goat. As it sizzles, they coat the meat with a mixture of soy sauce and pepper. Finally, to bring it home, a thick and flavorful peanut sauce made with peanuts, shallots, garlic, and cayenne pepper.
That's good goat. Good. Very nice. It's hardly even goaty. They put a sweet peanutty sauté on there, and it's so smoky. That is a sauté. Right here, I have a rib.
These ribs require a lot of time and love before they wind up here. First, they're braised in a pot for hours with a load of spices like chilies, garlic, star anise, kaffir lime leaves, and nutmeg. After they soften up, throw them over the flame to develop a crust, then slather them in that same thick peanut sauce.
Wow.
This lady's hilarious. Oh, I love the glaze. The sauce that's on there. Sweet, nutty, thick, smoky glaze. And the goat is fairly tender too. Should we try some fish?
Yes.
Thank you. The eel has a very unique texture. It's almost like frog meat. They really charred the heck out of it before they actually put it in the soup. So the soup tastes like burning. Can we eat this?
Yes.
Traditionally, this dish is made to celebrate the birth of a child.
In birth ceremony, we must call a leader in this village to touch the brain.
Finish?
Yeah, finish.
Do you have any idea how to eat this?
Take the brain.
You start with the brain.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That probably could have cooked a little longer. So I'm just gonna get like a quarter of a spoon. Cheers. Those are some of the best brains I've ever had. Incredible seasoning, super salty, spicy, fragrant, lemongrass, just tons of powerful flavors. Oh, thumbs up. Obviously, we have the intestines.
Yeah.
Very chewy intestines, but very clean tasting. No gaminess. Right here, we have the tongue that has been stripped of its skin. This nice lady at the end of the table took all the, well, a lot of the skin off. It's very juicy. Beautiful, chewy texture. I love it. Yeah, this is healing me even more than that stomach massage. So one of the things that makes Bugis people stand out is this categorization of genders. Earlier today, I met the Bisu, the central person, almost like no gender or multi-gender. But then you can also have, what, Cholalai and Cholabai?
Yeah.
In Bugis society, there exist 5 genders. You've met one already, the Bisu. Then there are the traditional women and men. But after that, there are 2 others, the Cholabai and Cholalai. Put more simply, feminine men and masculine women.
Is anybody on this table a Cholabai?
On the right side of me.
Rini is a Cholabai. He's a man who lives as a woman.
It's a Muslim village. A lot of folks here are Muslim. Are you Muslims?
Yes.
So why don't you wear the hijab?
People call him, oh, oh no, you are a man, why are you using hijab? Something like that.
And then is there anyone here who is cholalai?
On the right side of you.
Oh, okay. So you're cholalai.
Yes.
Agustini is a cholalai, a woman who presents herself as a man.
Did you choose that you're cholalai, or did the people around you choose?
Kitar.
People call her Chalalai. She doesn't like the name actually.
What would you prefer to be called?
Agus. Agus is a male name.
In Islam, is it allowed to change your gender?
It's not allowed.
So how can the Bisu person exist?
Actually, that is the task for a religious Muslim, to advise him to be a good Muslim. But I mean, we cannot force them to be blah, blah, blah. We let them.
It's interesting. You have these labels for people, chololai, cholobai, but it doesn't seem like it's a label used to help include people. It seems like a label that's used to separate people. On one hand, she doesn't really enjoy people saying, hey, you are this title, you act this way. There's no benefit for her to hear that. But meanwhile, the Bisu is also somebody who is separated because of their gender, but you look up to that person. Yeah. This place is confusing.
I wish I could neatly tie this story up with a bow, but I can't. At least not in one afternoon. I came here to seek understanding about a culture very different from my own. But the reality is, sometimes culture is messy. It's layered, it's confusing. As I leave this place, all I know for certain is there's no other quite like it. Also, that Bisu may be addicted to cigarettes. I've traveled to South Sulawesi to the vast and varied country of Indonesia. Here, you'll find the Turayan people with distinctive customs, unique food, and breathtaking architecture that goes back hundreds of years. But once a year, over a few-week period, villagers gather to send off their loved ones to the afterlife.
When the funeral takes place, how many buffalo do you plan to purchase?
At least 20.
20.
Yeah.
Today, I'm on a mission to understand the Turayan's unusual relationship with death.
In the house behind me, there is a dead body.
And experience the food that comes with it. And it all starts here.
My dude, this is wild. Is this the first day of the funeral?
It is. It's the first day. The guests coming, the family coming, showing the condolence, giving the pig, giving the buffalo. And they are being served by the tea, coffee, and the traditional dish.
What do the local people think about having tourists come here to this sacred ceremony? Is that good?
For our cultural aspect, the family also happy of watching the people become crowded. It's like cheering up the soul of the body.
So better to have a lot of people, even if they're foreigners, than no people.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Unlike the usual funeral scene in the West, replete with dark clothes, grief, and sorrow, here, the burial process is a colorful, frenetic community affair, orchestrated by not only the deceased's family, but by the community as well, culminating in a single, climactic send-off. This is Rambu Solo, the traditional funeral ceremony of the Turayan people.
The pigs have arrived, you can always tell.
Across from me, Andre, my local guide in all things life, death, and food. Starting with breakfast.
Here we have a litany of snacks. Is this all Turayan food right here?
That's right.
This looks incredible.
Welcome foods are prepared before funeral goers arrive. In a day marked by mass animal slaughter, our meal begins with a smorgasbord of small bites, lacking protein, but certainly not lacking any flavor.
Oh, that is spicy.
That one we call sokta, the sticky rice.
Is this coconut or pork floss?
Coconut.
Oh, this is really outstanding. I've never had a flavor like this. It is infused with a crazy amount of spice.
Next one.
These are called ONDE-ONDE. They're balls, really tasty balls. Grated cassava is joined by palm sugar, then formed into this shape. After boiling to firm it up, douse it in grated coconut and fry to crisp it.
Guess what inside to be?
Oh, pure sugar. Everything here is definitely not bland. I went from super spicy to super sweet.
There's also the option of a sweet potato ball, made with a similar method and coated with sesame seeds.
So delicious. What I love most is the chewy outside. What is this one?
We call it lapa.
Lapa. I like the wrapped ones because I never know what I'm gonna get. Aha.
This is a type of cake consisting of grated cassava, coconut flakes, and palm sugar. Wrap that in banana leaves and steam.
I like it. Like your version of, oh, what do they call the pounded rice, Kai, in Japan? Mochi. Like your version of mochi, but more sweet.
Finally, there's this. They call it wajik, or sticky rice bars.
So I like that you take similar ingredients, but remix them in different ways.
Made with a combination of melted palm sugar, grated coconut, and sticky rice.
Sticky and sweet. You really need to wash it down with some bitter coffee. But actually, the coffee is really sweet too. So I noticed the announcements right now. What are they talking about?
They're announced about the pig they already bring, to who it will be addressed.
Bringing animals to the ceremony as an offering is considered an act of respect and gratitude to the deceased. The most valued are pigs and buffalo, with their donation announced loudly over the PA to highlight those who contributed. Depending on how many pigs and buffaloes are brought here, the funeral could go on for days until all the animals are sacrificed for one or several big feasts.
I understand that tomorrow we're going to actually see a buffalo slaughter.
That's right.
How many buffalo will be slaughtered tomorrow?
It could be more than 5 buffalo. At the same time.
The magnitude of the funeral is determined by the family's pocketbook. The burial of a noble elite could result in the slaughter of 25 to 100 buffalo. But even your average Joe still commands the sacrifice of up to 8 buffalo and 50 pigs. Rich or poor, the slaughter of buffalo is non-negotiable, and families will go to any length in order to save up enough money to buy them.
Is that a coffin up there?
Yeah, that's right. The body is a man and passed away 5 months ago. Yeah, 5 months ago.
Wow.
The buffalo. It's the most sacred animal in Tarayan society, and their image can be found everywhere. For the living, they're a sign of wealth. But for the dead, the buffalo is believed to be a guide to the afterlife. No buffalo means no funeral. So until the funeral day, the body is embalmed and kept inside for weeks, or months, or even years.
In the house behind me, there is a dead body. A dead body that's been there for quite a while, years at this point. With me, I have a gift. This is a customary practice to bring a gift of some sort into the house. It could be food, it could be alcohol, or it could be this. Here I have a large number of natural products that will get you high in some sort of way. Tobacco leaves, we have betel nut, we have limestone powder, which activates the betel nut, cigarettes, and a couple things I don't even recognize. These look like long string beans, but they're not. It is interesting to me that this is like a very valued product here, and this is something they'd be very happy to get even in the afterlife. So let's go inside and take a look.
What is surely a bizarre sight for most is completely normal here,
Stop it.
as the Tarayan people are at home among the dead.
Where should I put this?
Yeah, please put there.
Down here?
There, yes.
Okay.
Mapangampangan kami ada mbe. Nawang kami sama nemi pangan.
Jakob here has lived with the corpse of his father for quite some time. Perhaps he's able to cope with this sight because he doesn't actually consider his father to be dead. Death will come, but not until the funeral. Right now, Jakob refers to his father as Tomakula, which means sick.
How long has he been here?
4 years ago.
4 years?
Yes, 4 years ago.
Wow.
And planning ceremony was September next year.
Next year?
Yes.
Could you tell me more about your father when he was alive?
He's a nice man, always give advice as a dedicate for the children.
When you talk to your father, what do you talk about?
He talked to the body like, my father, your friend is here. Would like to visit you and please welcome him quite well.
Nice, palma yung toraja.
Nice. When the funeral takes place, how many buffalo do you plan to purchase?
They are still on discussions, at least 20 already.
It's been said that this is the most expensive place in the world to die. Funerals can be so expensive that future generations will be saddled with crippling debt.
You said a buffalo costs about $800. That's $16,000.
Gotta be.
Instead of saving for an elaborate life, here they save a fortune for an elaborate death.
Australian people do sacrificing as a last respect for our parents. The more buffalo, the bigger respect we get for our parents.
Today I've come to another nearby village where funeral processions have just begun. Soon, there will be a massive death feast, including an entire cooked buffalo. But there's a lot that must be done first. Right now, villagers and family members prepare early morning food to fuel the community for this long, intense day.
First, you must wash your hand. Some people might wash both hands, but I know here people are supposed to just eat with their right hand. But this hand is for something else. If you don't know why, you can look it up.
On the menu this morning, boiled pork seasoned simply with salt and braised in a giant steel vessel. On the side, rice and stir-fried eggplant.
Let's try out this eggplant right here. Ooh, oh my God. It has that slimy, kind of trademark slimy eggplant texture, very mushy, and then the spice hits you like a freaking hammer. Here we've got the pork meat. They boiled the heck out of it. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, baby. That's good pork. It depends on the piece you grab. There's some really fatty parts and really soft, meaty protein parts. Beyond that, the pigs here, these are very unique looking mountain pigs. You won't find these types of pigs being turned into pork chops in the USA. So the meat, the taste has a little bit different quality to it. Hit it with a little bit of rice for balance. So lunch is wrapping up right now. In just a moment, they're gonna get the buffalo. I have no idea what to expect, but let's go. Let's find out.
Belanay ng kamuman na to susarian matotoo ki siyoto o kapaaranwan kilamin tuwahagan.
More words, more speeches, more waiting. Then finally, when all is at peace, the ceremony begins.
Why is it when they take the coffin out, they pretend like they're dropping it? What is happening?
It's more like shaking.
Like waking them up?
Yeah.
Really?
Now they're singing the funeral chant. That's how the condolence express of the village and the family.
What happens after this?
They will lift up the body on the catafalque, we call lakyan, by putting the body up there. This parenting village recognize that the stages of the body are already changing.
The coffin is oriented toward the southwest, the direction of the underworld, home of the dead. If he doesn't complete his journey to Puya, his soul will be lost forever. However, his guide in the afterlife has just entered the village, unknowingly about to embark on this society's most honorable task. The sacred guide is escorted to the middle of the square. Palm wine is poured on the animal, symbolizing the permission requested to release its soul. When prayers and speeches subside, blood is shed. The buffalo spirit is free, ready to guide the deceased to Puya. Silence is replaced with chanting. The death feast for this Rambu Salam has officially begun. No time is wasted as the buffalo is taken apart. Some of the meat is gifted to the local guests, but the majority will be used for today's meal. Every section of beef is reduced down to small meat chunks that'll soon join one pot. Inside, 5 giant vessels of rice are steaming. Outside, 2 tanks are about to receive a massive volume of buffalo meat.
Cooking is underway with the buffalo right now. This is the same cooking vessel they use for the pork, now using it for the buffalo, actually using the pork stock inside to cook this meat. I'm gonna help them put it in. This thing is full of meat, lungs, heart, stomach, everything you can imagine is inside of there.
Now for the flavor: salt, chilies, garlic, onions, galangal, ginger, and lemongrass. As the meat cooks, they add brain, intestines, and other offals. This is ready to eat after a couple of hours, but as the day goes on, they'll continue adding more and more meat. On the side, buffalo barbecue, with meat that's been rubbed with MSG, then skewered up and roasted over a wood fire. Joining our meal, Maria, the host of today's event and daughter of the deceased.
What a day it has been. How do you feel?
I feel fine, thank you for asking.
Do you think today has been a success so far?
Yes, it is.
The food looks amazing, although I gotta say, I was taken aback by the cooking style. It's just like, cut everything down, boil it as hot as possible, throw in some spices, done. So what is the purpose of cooking it this way?
It's a simple way that quickly cook and we can share to the villagers.
But is the most efficient food the most tasty food?
It will be.
It will be. Here we have buffalo barbecue. Is that well done?
It's well done.
Do you like it well done?
We like it.
We do have knife, but off you do like this.
Oh, you got strong fingers.
Oh,
okay. Thank you. I like a little bit of spice. Try it out. Oh my God, that is some of the hottest sambal I've ever had in my life. Even you struggling, huh? There's a sauna inside of my body. Do you like chewy meat?
We like it. And it's also because it's rare to consume the buffalo meat. It's only taken from the funeral place.
So only one time per year?
Yes, August, September, the time for funeral.
Here, the main recipe. So they put a little bit of everything in here. Intestines, stomach, lungs, meat, maybe heart and liver too. Which part is your favorite?
This one.
Oh, the stomach.
Yes.
There's no way to even split this in half. It looks like a carpet. Okay. I gotta say, pretty impressive. It's tasty, super chewy, interesting coarse kind of texture. I thought it would be more gamey, but it's just a bit salty. So this is just meat. Much softer. Oh, look at this piece. Oh, that's liver. Really delicious.
We say mummy.
Mummy. Mummy means?
Yummy.
Yummy, okay, good. I gotta be careful. My wife is behind the camera. I can't look into her eyes and say mommy. Come on, man, you're gonna get me killed. Oh yeah, rib is very nice, but I'm really interested in that lung. Oh, I think this is lung. It's black. This looks like the lung of a Bisu, someone who smoked 3 packs of cigarettes per day. It has a very unique texture because it looks really dark, like it would be burnt or tough. It's not at all. It's quite soft, and when you rip it, it can kind of rip apart. It's very fleshy.
Yummy.
Super chewy, very different from any other texture here.
For more delicious, a little bit more spicy.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought that would break the rules. I gotta say, I underestimated this a little bit. I thought it was pretty simple. It is efficient, but an efficient way to cook food that's very satisfying. Could I ask about your father?
Yeah, of course.
How long ago did he become sick?
Was in November last year.
You know, anytime we have someone close to us pass away, there's a period of grieving. Grieving where you're surprised, you're angry, you're shocked, you're sad, and eventually you kind of accept what happened. And so for you, did the grieving kind of happen already?
Of course, at the moment that he passed away, and we crying and laughing together, like both mix the situation.
Yeah.
But during since yesterday and until today, we are not really sad. But I think next week, the date at the burials, and that thing they're gonna be emotional for a while.
Because that's the end.
And that's the end. And
true end.
Really for definitive, we say goodbye to our father.
Once the funeral is complete, the coffin will not be buried. Rather, it'll be stored either in a cave or a small mausoleum. Next, I'll learn that the Tarayan's relationship with death does not end here. Every 3 years, families uncover their deceased loved ones in a macabre ceremony known as Menene.
How long has the oldest body been here?
Sounds like 50 years.
With an unusual event comes an unusual meal.
The beans inside, it could be poison.
Fantastic.
I'm joining a local family to get a rare glimpse at this uncommon experience. I want to know how it works and why they do it.
How do you feel when you come here every few years and you see your daughter again? Is this a happy day or is this a sad day?
It all starts at their home before heading out to the cemetery. Green tapioca leaves, crumbled, chayote, sliced, stir-fried in a wok with shallots and a dose of MSG strong enough to replace your morning
coffee. No, okay. Thank you for inviting me to your home today. The food looks amazing. Is this something that you usually eat in the morning?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna try it out. It's got a certain chewiness to it. Like the leaves are a bit thick, almost leathery, but it's quite bitter. I bet that would go great with this rice.
Here's the pyong bobo.
Pyong bobo.
Yeah.
So I've had something similar in other countries, but it looks incredible. It's really nice.
Yeah, sticky rice, coconut milk, ginger, garlic, together mixed inside the bamboo and then be fired.
Tarayan-born Andre is back to guide me through today's event.
What is a menene?
The grave ritual, the time to take the body outside, changing the last clothes and then dry it under the sun.
There's no doubt that the Tarayan relationship with death is different from your own. When a loved one dies here, they're kept in the home, sometimes for years at a time. But they're not considered dead. They're considered sick until the day of their funeral. But even after the coffin closes, surviving members still care for the dead under the name Menene. Somehow the topic I'm questioning least today is breakfast.
This one, we cook the buffalo meat that it is already smoked.
Smoked buffalo meat is rehydrated in boiling water, then chopped into bite-sized pieces. In a wok, they crisp the meat in bubbling oil. Meanwhile, prepare a fresh sambal, tomato, chilies, scallions, and shallots. Toss the fried buffalo meat back in the wok and coat it with the vibrant sauce.
Wow. Tasty, really chewy. I bet old people cannot eat this.
Even the teenless woman can also eat that.
How? That just took me 2 minutes of chewing, and I have decent teeth. The seasoning on the outside is delicious. Almost like a sambal sauce mixed throughout. So there's some tomato for acid, tons of spice, some herbs in there. After breakfast today, we're heading to where?
The family already welcomed us to meet again his wife.
Miss Jamat passed away 1 year ago. Today, for the first time since her passing, she'll reunite with her daughter and her husband.
For you, is this a happy day or a sad day?
Merasa si misa adik kita. Karena sih mama adik kita adalah he miss.
The Menene is a family reunion of sorts, a chance to catch up with extended family. With breakfast complete, the whole family heads to the cemetery. Here, on this hillside, you'll find a collection of small mausoleums. Inside, they're stacked high with coffins of family members, laid to rest long ago.
In just a few minutes, they're gonna take out the bodies from this mausoleum here. On one hand, I really appreciate here that there's not so much taboo around death. It doesn't seem like there's so many negative feelings around death, and it's something that people are more open about. That being said, I don't know. The nature of today's event, I'm not sure if it's gonna be happy or sad or just a job that has to be done, but we're gonna see what happens.
Today's Menene is about to begin, and surprisingly, it all starts with the food. A whole black mountain pig that takes hours to cook. It starts with torching, scraping, and cleaning. The enormity of the pig is cut down to small cubes under the blades of a dozen men.
This is the fastest I've ever seen a group of people make work of a pig. What is this for?
So it's kind of the offering for the deities of the body that's already buried here, and also become the food for the relative that attend these occasions.
This hectic scene takes place merely steps away from the ceremony venue. Here, a solemn air creeps around the mausoleums. The world of the dead and the living are about to collide. Upon first sight of the departed, a range of emotions flood out simultaneously. Some break down into tears, reviving an acute sense of loss, while some burst with joy, embracing their loved ones. Here and there, modern technology makes its way to this 900-year-old ritual through video calls to absent friends and relatives.
Are you related to everybody here? How many generations does it go back here? And how many people are here?
4 generations already. 11 bodies, 8 coffins. They put the babies together inside their grandfather or grandmother because he believed their grandfather can look after the babies.
Wow.
A large part of the Menene ceremony is dedicated to cleaning the remains, dusting, and even changing clothes.
We do not want to have them with the ripped clothes. We change it by the new one. That's the expression of the looking after the body.
While the family is taking care of their loved ones, I head off to look over the pig.
As with so many village feasts, they take some entrails and they take some meat, they barbecue it up for a little bit of a snack ahead of time. Can you cut me off a piece? My bad. Oh, this is good. Hot, juicy. Oh man, it's very good. Around here, they like replace salt with MSG. If you're gonna barbecue over fire, there's nothing more foolproof than having pork and salt or MSG. How is it? Anak, enak, enak.
Preparations for today's main course are in full swing. Chopped pork, mayana leaves, local spices, and MSG come together in big plastic tubs. The meaty blend jostles its way into fresh bamboo tubes. These organic cooking vessels are lined up by the fire and corked with banana leaves. In a couple of hours, they'll be ready for lunch. Meanwhile, Mr. Lumba introduces me to his daughter.
When is the last time you saw your daughter?
18 years. Just like burn, and 3 days, she passed away.
And don't know why?
Don't know.
Dressed up in her new outfit and lying peacefully in Mr. Lumba's arms is not yet named daughter.
This day is different for everybody. I see some people are upset, crying, a lot of people are smiling. And so for you, is this a happy day or is this a sad day?
He missed her a lot, and that's the moment for cheering up for him, like meeting his doctor again.
There's candy, there's some money under her arm. What is the purpose of that?
Even the baby is already collapsed, like it's already break it down, maybe the faces and the skins. He still a great connections emotionally with the baby. He come here, give the candies like, this is what the children loved nowadays. And this is for you. He miss her so much. Yeah, it's a pleasant day.
With new clothes, presents, and much love from the living, the departed will soon be back at rest. And the Menene ceremony will conclude with a lunch feast for all. The living remain to enjoy their share of the meal.
All of our meat is coming out finally. This is just pure meat.
While the dead leave with their spiritual offering.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Joining me at the lunch table, Mr. Lumba's brother and another relative.
Man, I never get used to this stuff. The palm wine is so vinegary, it's so thick, and it has just a little bit of alcohol. Do people here even buy this stuff?
Get it from the trip naturally.
To make this local, free alcohol, first collect the sap drippings from a palm tree. Then, wait. Let it ferment for hours or even days until it becomes a sour, happy juice.
Do you have a beer tree? So, we've got rice, we've got the pork. Shall we try some? It tastes amazing. The meat is very soft, a lot of skin, a lot of pork belly. Super juicy. I love these pieces where it's like protein, fat, skin, all these different textures together. Super delicious. Plenty of MSG, chilies, spices. It's awesome.
By offering a pig to their ancestors during the Menene, the Turayans believe they will be blessed with a fruitful harvest the following year.
Do you remember how old you were when you experienced your first Menene?
He experienced the manene once he was 6 years old.
Do you remember what you felt back then? Did it feel normal? Did it feel scary for a kid?
So they are brave enough because there are a lot of people like we are experienced nowadays. He was not scary at all of watching the conditions of the body.
What about you?
It's something common.
Today, most Turians are Christian, but their Menene practices, which predate their conversion to Christianity, persist nonetheless.
Assuming you know that in many other countries, people don't do this. When someone dies, it's kind of definitive. Generally, they're put in the ground, and then that's that.
We perform the manene, more like how we can connect to the body, how we can express our love. If we put the body inside the ground, it means like there will be only bones left. But if we preserve inside the house grave that we saw before, they will have a chance to have a look of the body.
By noon, the Menene must be complete, and the family members return home as if nothing ever happened. Women weave baskets and nurse their children. Men etch decorative carvings into the rice barn or collect bamboo. Andre and I sit down for one last meal.
This meal is very well suited to the Menene because it's very dark colors. Can you tell me what we have here? What is this?
Pantol pamarasan.
This black stew starts with pork, torched on the outside and chopped into smaller chunks, then boiled with what they call black nut.
I've never heard of black nut.
It's taken from the football fruit that we slice out the skin and they got the beans inside. But I will tell you this one, if it's cooked by the wrong cook, it could be poison.
Well, that's fun.
Next, add lemongrass, shallots, garlic, salt, MSG, and ginger. And don't forget to pray for a poison-free meal. Finish by adding slices of football fruit skin. Let it simmer for 20 minutes and serve.
We eat with our hands?
Yes.
So it's interesting because it's going to have a similar texture to what we tried already today, but I'm assuming a different flavor with that black nut. Let's try it out. I feel alive.
It should be cooked in the proper way.
Should or was?
It should.
Fantastic. So when I taste the broth itself, it's super salty, savory. It has a little bit of an earthy taste to it. Certainly different from what we tried already. Super rich. All that porky fattiness has leaked into the broth. And there's meaty pieces, there's skin, there's fatty pieces. It's very nice. So since you've shown me so much of your culture, I wanted to show you, well, it's not really my culture. Hold on. This is tequila. Do you do shots here?
As you already experienced, it's a big one.
That's right.
Oh.
Not for children.
At least 18 years old.
All right, I feel fully ready to try this out.
The meal ends with a local favorite, a mixture of rice flour, brown sugar, and sesame. Deep fried into elongated crescents.
That is delightful. Super crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. It is like a Turian brownie. However, not chocolatey, but it is sweet and chewy. And then the sesame seeds on here add a little bit more texture, a little crunchy texture to the outside. I love that.
Thank you.
I'll trade you. Not actually. Can I have both? So you grew up in the city, but you're very familiar with these customs, these traditions, the Menene, the Rambusola. For you, one day, when you pass away, will you go through the same process as the people here?
My child, my grand-grandchild cannot be do the same. They will look after me, even it's just only my body.
Give me your pretty, give me your messy.
At the Menene, it just feels so eventful. Maybe just because it's new for me. Seeing things through the camera is always so much more shock, and you just see this very condensed version of a very sensational topic. But when you're in the moment, you're taking the surroundings, you're walking, you're seeing them take the coffins out slowly, opening each casket and behaving in a way that's congruent and consistent. I feel like it was a very touching moment, the father with his daughter.
That's right.
And it's like, what is the difference between someone in the West pulling out a picture of a child they lost in the past and somebody actually holding, you know, the physical body of the child they lost? I mean, of course, logically there's a difference, but symbolically, I don't think there's much of a difference.
Bringing me fire, bringing me water, taking me high, taking me down.
Boom, guys, that is it. That is the end of our Indonesia series, 6 videos. I hope you enjoyed it. My gosh, this place is so unique. Every time I come here, I've been here 3 times now, and this place always blows me away. Guys, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.